All right, so here's a procedure. Now I got it straight out my back every time. Okay, procedure for disc and washer. So first thing, you're gonna draw the function. Draw the functions. Always draw it out. And if you don't know how to draw, use Desmo to help you currently, like, to help you draw out properly, but do learn how to draw. Second, once you draw the function, you have to draw this notation. Draw the axis of notation. Axis of notation. Now, I will tell you, this is the test everybody failed last year. So make sure you follow this, because if you follow this, a lot of people, it's going to be very easy. So third thing, you draw the axis of rotation. Now, you're going to draw lines with S. So sometimes it could be one line, could be two lines. Not three lines, just one or two. So with lines, it has to be in this order from axis of rotation draw from axis of rotation to the boundaries. It's how to spell boundaries. IES? Yeah. Like this? Yeah. Where did you go? Oh, boundary and with parenthesis S?
Well, just do S because you have two boundaries, right?
No, it's sometimes a boundary and sometimes boundaries. Boundary or boundaries?
Slash back, yeah.
Okay, so it's either boundary or boundaries. So if you have one boundary, so one boundary, then you are more likely to have a disk method. And if you have two, then it's a washer. And we're going to talk about why that is. But once we start going, you should have a little bit more ideas. So you can have one boundary or two boundaries. So if it's two boundaries, then it's going to be a washer. So, okay, 4. Step 4. Make sure you decide either dx or dy. When you draw the lines from axis rotation to the thing, you can tell are they dx or dy. We're going to show you in a second. 5. Don't forget pi in the front, because that's the biggest part, is people forget about the pi. Don't forget the pi, because of pi r square. 6. Don't forget, change the boundary accordingly. Upper bound or lower bound. So upper bound and lower bound accordingly. I mean the integrals, right? Accordingly. So according. How to spell accordingly?
ACCORDINGLY.
Okay, accordingly. So accordingly. So sometimes it could be x bound or y bound. So you have to be careful what kind of boundary that is. 7. So thank you. Once you do that, you have to decide either disk. You can decide disk or washer. Then you can form either integration from A to B of r square of x dx, which is what we did yesterday, or c to d. Why c to d? Because you can have r square of y dy, but they're gonna have different boundary usually. They're gonna have the dy, then it's gonna be have y boundary. Dx gonna have x boundary. Are we okay here? And then you might have, this is disk. So if you have two lines, you're gonna have a to b of r square of x minus r square of x dx. And don't forget the pi. See, I just forget all the pi here, which is kind of crucial. C to d, r square of y minus r square of y dy. So you can be function in term of y because you're doing dy, so you have to do it in term of y. Your function cannot be x and integrate with dy. I've seen some people do that. That's very no. That's like very bad. Okay, so always make sure they're uniform. The boundary is uniform, dx is uniform, the function is uniform. Once you do that, this part is a washer, yes.
Third right.
So this part is a washer. Now I'm going to go to question 8. I'm going to go to 8. 8 is knowing what is a function representing. So if I have f of x like this is equal to distance. Okay, so make sure, I want you to make sure you always this order from axis rotation to the boundary. Make sure you underline that because a lot of people screw up there. So distance from x-axis to the curve. And the f of y usually are distance from y-axis to the curve. Now this one is gonna show you very helpful is if you're doing off-axis rotation. So you might have sometimes off-axis rotation and gonna be like this. Now you're gonna see there's a lot of wording here. Now the problem is the wording is just the actual work is actually not as much because both all the time you're drawing and deciding. So I'm trying to like, I don't know if you've ever seen those the dad trying to teach the son how to make a peanut butter sandwich. Have you seen that video? No, like they give it the son, they give it his son the instruction how to make a peanut butter sandwich. Yeah, the science thing, yeah. So I'm trying to do like that where there is no mistake, but probably I didn't explain something and then probably you're gonna make some type of mistake. So I'm trying each year to improve this. So each year the list getting longer and longer. That's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. I try to be avoiding those certain mistakes that usually makes. So what happened is I'm gonna have, do you guys have this write down? Okay, so what happened is I'm gonna start with a function. I'm gonna say f of x is equal to square root x. X is equal to 4. Y equal to 0. Now I'm gonna say, hey, this is rotate around x-axis. So if I ask you to rotate around x-axis, you say, okay, let me draw this and let me follow all those things. And this one, everybody can do it already, but just didn't follow the things I asked you to follow. So first, I draw the function. Precisely, if I can draw it precisely, I'll draw precisely. So I'm gonna draw the function like this. I'm gonna cut off like this, and I'm gonna cut off like this. So this is where the interest is. Now, the second step is what? Draw the axis rotation. How do I draw it? This drawing part is just doing the rotation understanding. So here is the rotating. So that way you know where it's rotating. Remember, it does not happen to be only on x-axis or y-axis. It could be like x equal to -2, y equal to -4, x is equal to 5. You could have rotating different places. This is just the simplest case. So everybody should be able to do this. Now, if I just rotate around here, then that's easy because I gotta draw lines. So I'm gonna draw a line in from axis rotation, not here to here. This is bad. This is good. It has to be from here. Draw it toward the boundaries. Toward the boundary. If you see one bound, it's a disk. And if that disk, you can decide. So this one, you can decide. Okay, so I hear you gotta decide disk or washer. Disk or washer, right? So you had to decide disk or washer there. It's gonna be, in this case, it's dx or dy. Dx, because that's a slice of x, right? So that's dx. So you draw from axis rotation, you write down dx first. And what else do you don't forget? Pi, good. And is it the disk or washer? Since there's only one line, it's a disk. So disk means this is your radius. This is radius of x here. So that also represents with f of x. So it'll be square root of x, that's a radius, and then square. And then between the boundary is going to be 0 to 4 because you got to make sure that it's x bound. Okay, so your answer is going to be like this. You can do the calculation. I'm not going to worry about you doing that calculation, but this is it. Questions? Now, what if this function rotate around y-axis? I'm going to guide you through this one again, but let's draw it together. Let's draw the functions. If you draw the function, that's going to be like this, and it's going to be like this, and it's going to be like this, and like this. Where's my axis rotation? Y-axis. So we're going to go to y-axis. We're going to draw this rotating. What kind of shape am I forming? What? No, what kind of shape am I forming? What kind of shape?
A donut. We talked about this. A bun cake. A bun cake.
A bun cake. Yeah, so obviously it looks like something like this, a bun cake. And according to the first period, they say I didn't know how to spell bun cake, so I spelled B-U-N-N. It was
Bun cake.
yeah. It says
It's a bun.
If you're gonna try, I'm going to do you.
Stop.
Bro,
We did not get on grammar spelling.
you literally come for him for every single thing. Anytime
But-
you mention anything about his grammar, you get mad at me.
Just
Like,
leave
hello?
it.
You think that's worse than what she just did to you? Like me, how
Guys,
tell
why
me how
don't we
you're
just
doing.
leave this?
just let me teach. It's okay. I'm not offended either way. I'm not easily triggered. Not like you guys. I'm just like whatever, you know. So I'm chill like that. Just like so if I rotate this, it's gonna be a bun cake. But except the bun cake is kind of curved on the side, but this is actually cylindrical, completely cylindrical here. And then so there is an inside that's carved out. And then when you inside carve out, that's gonna be a washer. So I'm gonna show you this. So I'm gonna show you draw from the axis rotation. So you're not drawing from the boundary. You're not drawing from, don't draw it from here. This is bad. This is bad. Okay, this is bad. You draw from the axis rotation this way. And you draw axis rotation this way. That has to be within the curve too. Because you draw it here, then there's nothing you reach, right? So at here you would have a first boundary, which is the here. Is that okay? Second boundary is gonna have from here to here. Oops, that was bad. Let's do it here. So now you see that big red one is gonna form a cylindrical shape. The black one is gonna form a carve out. Okay. So the black part is gonna carve out. So it's gonna carve out the middle part. Oh my god! Can you guys stop?
I'm not in a good mood.
Should I use green better so I'm not offending anybody? Okay, I just choose to be that color. Okay.
Oh, this is brown.
You know what? I'm a pick a color that there is no race with this color. There's no race with green color, okay?
Brown is out.
Are you happy now? Okay, so there is nobody pink either. All right, so so is this dx or dy?
Why?
This is dy. Good. So you start look at the slices. The slice of dy. So this is dy. So we decide what kind of function need to be. So if it's dy, now remember this is y equal to square root x. You need to change that to what? X equal to y squared because you want to do that. So that's first part. Second part, we already kind of decide what everything is. So we're gonna start drawing the integration. The integration is gonna be here. We already know it's dy, so the function has to be in terms of y. And we know we don't forget a pi in the front, and we are winning half the bottle right here. Now, the boundary is from where to where? 0 to 2, not 0 to 4, because this the y bound. You have to use the y boundary because it have to stop integrate when it stop here. There's nothing to integrate after that. So it had to be 0 to 2. Am I going too fast?
Not sure.
What'd you say, Natalie?
Did we equal them to each other to get boundaries or like?
Yeah, you can set so since this is y bound, so y bound you're gonna plug in, so you got y equal to square root x. You need to figure out what happened here. So what happened when x is equal to 4? So that has to be 2. So square root of 4 is equal to 2. Is that okay? Yeah. Now I'm gonna decide a big R. So this is a disco washer. It's 2 line, it's a washer. So this is a washer. So I'm gonna say this is a washer. And if it's a washer, then you're gonna say, okay, well, this must be a big R of y and this small r of y. So what is big R of y in this case?
The pink.
It's what?
It's a regular.
Addison, what do you think?
Yeah, what are you?
No, you gotta be decisive.
I have to be decisive.
I think it's radical F.
Yeah, I'm gonna roast you, but I don't want to roast you.
I'm gonna roast me or Deborah.
I can.
Not even.
Who? Who are you trying to roast?
No, nothing.
Huh?
So what's-
Okay, so you gotta be decisive. Hurry up.
Radical F.
What were you gonna say? I feel
Hold
like
my
I know-
bag.
I feel like I know what you're gonna say.
I'm hold my
I
back.
feel like I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, thanks.
I'm hold my back.
I mean, you don't have to hold the bag with me anymore.
All right, hurry up.
Okay. Wait. What am I deciding? What?
RY, what's RY here?
RY. Let's go with.
If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's no big deal.
with Y squared.
Y square, okay. Anybody else have different answer?
Oh, sure.
Huh? 4, good. You gotta speak up. You gotta speak up. It is 4, and it's not R. It's not Y squared. The reason why is this is always here. You see, it's always 4. It doesn't matter where I draw it. It's always 4. It never changes. It never changes. Now the green one does though. The green one's always constantly changing. So what do you think that is?
That's Y.
That's Y squared. Good.
Got it. I got.
So,
Thank you.
and sometimes you have to be decisive even when you're wrong. So it's fine. So that's gonna be 4, and then square, right? And then minus, and then this is gonna be y square. So y square dy. And that's it. Oh, y square square. Sorry, y square square. Y square square. Because y square is the r is the distance from the axis to the curve, right?
Well,
Okay. So now we're gonna get to something very challenging. You guys ready?
No.
no.
Okay. Too bad. C. I'm gonna rotate around y is equal to -2. First of all, think about what kind of shape will they form. Second, follow all the procedures, see if you can come all the way through.
Yeah, because there's a bound of y equals 0, so you still have like two boundaries.
Hold on. Give me a second. Yeah, we are streaming.
Man, you almost really exposed me.
Oh, well, they can't.
Oh no.
You're trying to put me on full blast today. I hate hearing my voice.
That would be funny though.
That would be really fun. Wait,
What?
I'm not talking to you guys.
Yeah.
That wasn't be me. I'm literally just not talking to you guys.
That did not sound any better. But okay.
You know what I meant to say?
Are you okay today?
I'm actually doing quite well today. I'm very excited. I have a game today.
Ooh.
Are you gonna win? I'm gonna win myself. I don't know if everyone else on my team is gonna win.
That's the attitude.
What?
That's the attitude.
That is bad.
You don't care about what other people.
Bro, it's like I have like guaranteed.
Just score the goal as a goalie.
That's what I do sometimes. Low-key. They let me play field the other game. I scored a 5-meter. It was very fun.
Okay, so hurry up. Y equal to -2.
The boundary is.
First of all, how to draw y equal to -2?
The horizontal line.
All right, good.
Oh, I got it.
I'm gonna use red since I cannot use black.
Oh,
I refuse to make it.
don't look at me. Don't look at me. It was like a big.
Okay, so did you draw lines? Has to be from axis rotation, not the other way. Please do not draw it this way. This is bad. This is really bad. I'm gonna talk about this bad later. Is I have to draw from axis rotation because this, if I rotate in different direction, then you're gonna get a wrong answer. So you gotta make sure that there is how many lines? Two. So is this a washer? Okay, so this is a washer.
Oh, wait.
Now it's a this it's a dx or dy. Dx is small slice of x. It's a small tangent of x.
Yeah.
The way that I interpret it. Oh. Guys.
Bro, why here? Hey,
So friendly.
Okay, so it's dx. If it's dx, now is a disc a washer here? Oh, don't forget what? Pi. And what's the boundary here? 0 to 4. Good. Okay, so the boundary is 0 to 4. Now, what is the r of x here, and what is r of X
the
here.
big R is like, well, root x. Here, root x.
No,
Is it 0?
no,
Is it 1 square?
no.
Golly.
How can you be wrong the third time?
Maybe the issue is in me then.
Oh, how big? How? What is a big R here? What?
Square root x plus 2.
There we go.
Perfect.
Oh.
It's two sections. One section is 2. The other section is the function.
Bro has a good.
Okay, what is small one? What is small r of x?
Plus 2? Is it just 2?
It's just 2. So it's gonna be big square root x is square root x plus 2 square minus 2 square, and then you're done.
Because since there was like the the boundary is -2, you have to account for the distance between.
Guys, that was not serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
He translated
She's
it
not
down.
here. She's not here. She's still in class.
Marking?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's here sometimes first period, but she's usually not here first
Okay.
period.
Okay.
But she's definitely not in second period.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm doing I'm full black.
You guys not listening to the ice. Oh yeah, it's not their fault.
okay, so I'm rotating around y equal to 3. Now the last shape is like a bullet, but a bullet has a hole in the center. So it's actually you don't want to it's hard to visualize, but it's a bullet. It's like a bullet but ring-like.
Interesting.
Guys, that's what I.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not the inspiration.
I think like a dome.
Because that shape is gonna something look like it's gonna look like something like this. And it's gonna look like this.
I don't like that.
It's gonna look like a hole in a bullet. No, it's not a bun cake.
To me, it looks like a monkey. CJ.
Soup?
Oh, what?
Yeah, it looks like a bun cake.
No, it's not a bun cake.
You're the one asking if you enjoy validation over there, so I won't.
No, Kelly, you actually didn't follow that one, bro.
Bro,
That was foul. That was
You guys are the ones who took it wrong. I literally, like,
Okay.
I would.
personally, I would have probably hit on it.
Oh.
I need to go. Giving
What is going on?
We're always hitting on Anthony, and Anthony's not responding.
Yo.
It was not, dude. That was really trying to resolve.
We know we're streaming right now, right?
Hell Riz.
I didn't say nothing. I
I know
just
you're not talking about Elra's Devon.
What? I'm literally the Rizzler, bro. Bro,
there was so many things going on I don't know about, and I don't want to know.
I feel the Wizard of Oz.
All right, hurry up, rotate around y equal to 3. Can you guys rotate around y equal to 3? Hurry up.
I'm sorry, we just have to connect the
Well, yeah.
Would it be -1 this time as the shift?
Y equal to 3. Y equal to 3.
You guys are so.
It would be negative. It would just be -3 then. Okay. Okay, we got this big R. -3. Lower R is equal to square root of x minus. No, square root x minus 3. Okay. Then we got the side. Okay, the boundaries. And then what? Thanks. Is it? Are you sure? Okay, I believe you. Right. Over here. Oh, because you were
I don't know the lyrics.
Around the
Bible
body.
just says.
Why?
Class is hashtag over. Don't worry.
This class needs group therapy.
A little.
A little. It's all the way up. Oh my god. That's whoever wins it, Bro, that was messy. Hell, you want to talk about messy? That was hella messy.
Bro, I don't know.
That's pretty zesty.
Wait, can you
Okay, I
do
can
that
do
dance,
it.
please?
So guys are jamming up for the most like I don't know, like starting to like say like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Nathan.
I don't know.
Is this like your problem table in all the classes?
I have no idea.
Probably gonna be tables. We're gonna like duos.
Dual table, yeah. Two table next to each other. Pair up, pair up.
You locked out. I'm gonna also do you.
What? Don't come here. Okay. No, none of this near calculator.
This is what he means.
Look, you can do it. It's straight line. It's perfect. Well, you can't. I like it.
I was hoping you could carry.
Oh no! This is not gonna end well.
All right, so the only group I had to group you up with 3 people. No, 2 people. So because it won't be fair for the Ferrara. You can have them.
I don't know. I'm so happy.
Oh, are we sitting here? Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Wow. That's fine. So you're just gonna sit yeah. Well, how many bigger group?
Group test. Okay, hopefully you know how to work with each other. And by the way, the good news is there's a good news and bad news.
Oh god.
Bad news. Good news is whatever you get here is an credit on your next test. And your next test is on Thursday. But shit. But this is fair. It's fair. So it's yes. So this is like a preview of what the okay. It's a very fair, right?
That's the first
There are two FRQs worth 18 points. So you can get maximum 18 points. You want to get to 18 points. That's so many points. That's more points I haven't given you on any test.
That is true. So if I get my normal 50, I can get
Huh? 100 points. Oh,
okay.
two grade here. You guys know how to work. Okay. Please don't let other people carry you. Contribute. If I get like whatever you do, I have teachers thinking, teachers I have RJ to carry you. If I get like the wrong test,
Alright, cool.
This is number one.
That's why I'm not on
so who has the best writing on the paper, right? So it's not okay, it's
Oh, is it?
Oh, if we do first or non-therapy, this one and first. I'll take that if we're gonna X squared.
Wait, is it?
This one.
All hair stick together.
If you want to use the
Oh,
Oh wow. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. That's like. Hopefully I wouldn't see it.
I knew the normal sign. Oh, you know what?
We did have a negative one. I'm pretty sure the negative yeah, so I'll all right, and then oh, yes. Oh, this right here. You just plug in, you figure out the first one. You just plug in like the first term. And then find the breaking after. Yeah.
Oh, you got general.
Oh, well.
Oh, okay.
And then make it.
We haven't done the same thing. Oh.
With the one old one.
I did the weird part in my head because you can do that.
Yeah, that was one to up a while. It would be positive.
That's to the Glen over to Glen Factorial, right? Wait, it
I got it just now.
I don't think it's plus one. Did one to the end.
I guess I should have.
Yes, it is.
Well, yeah, obviously, so they go to E.
Sound effect. The math sound effect.
Sometimes you need sound effects for your math.
It helps. It helps. It helps.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? No, we need to talk about that. Oh no! I'm not even. I forgot to write the reason symbol, so I can't really talk.
Yeah, so.
Leave me alone. Oh, when did I say no?
For eight.
Wait,
Right, first four documents.
wait, no, that's
So then you just combine.
to the yeah. How many?
That's a summation. That right there is a summation.
Whatever.
It's like what? Start at 1 and square root of 2. Go.
Our first one.
Seem like your new partner.
At least our partners are here.
If we fail, we build together.
Real.
Okay, so can we just back our first one?
That would change my whole thing.
Just.
Well, you don't know what you have off the top of your head.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So that's like it. And it's not really, it's their team. It's too like.
Well,
There's
there's
the
Oh, wait, that's right.
What are you talking about?
How we and everything else.
We're also gonna add the total. Then we have to.
The negative sign.